Speaking of crony capitalism, I remember the Drudge Report linked to our articles back in February, back on February 4th, and it became a big national news story and was discussed on the Sunday news shows, and it was the first time I've ever had the White House actually address us and attack this radio show and say that we're insane liars. Remember this headline from February 4th, Obama agenda to bankrupt power plants triggers blackouts. Remember the freezing weather across the U.S. and record blackouts? And then a day later, White House attacks prisonplanet.com report on blackouts. And you can go read the White House report. Their communications director, Dan Pfeiffer, came out and said we were completely insane. The problem was we were linking to the Texas Power Commission and others' reports. All we did was also have family that work at power plants, and I've had a lot of listeners that work at them. And I've known even under Bush, and now accelerating under Obama in the last 2.5 years, they didn't let new plants open. They shut down a lot of existing plants. There's a $3 billion plant total. You heard me, $3 billion in Corpus Christi, one of the biggest in the country, that the EPA still hasn't allowed to open in the last year. And it was the same in Kansas and Missouri and Oklahoma and California. You saw the reports with the cold weather this year that, well, people are using more heat, and we should have built more power plants because the population growing. And so we're having these blackouts. I mean, that's what the power companies said were happening. And that's what unfolded. And the reason I mentioned this story first is because it's back in the news today. This is out of the Journal Sentinel. Utilities warn of higher rates because of pollution rules. Nothing comes out of the coal power plants but water vapor and carbon dioxide that plants live off of, and then they put off oxygen. Humans exhale carbon dioxide, and Bill Gates has said humans are bad for exhaling it, part of the atmosphere of the planet, part of the symbiotic system, the carbon cycle. By the way, I covered this Friday, and some people didn't believe me, so I'm going to re-pull it out of the stack later. The London Guardian did go with the report that NASA officially has said that space aliens are going to attack the United States and the entire planet if we don't pay carbon taxes to Al Gore. That is not satire. That is not a joke. I know it's insane, but do not blame me. Do not blame me because it sounds insane. That's how dumb they think you are. There it is, London Guardian. Aliens may destroy humanity to protect other civilizations, say scientists. Rising greenhouse emissions could tip off aliens that we are rapidly expanding threat, warns a NASA report. And they say, pay money to the Rothschilds that own the big climate exchange with Al Gore. And that's who publicly owns it. Just type in Rothschilds Climate Exchange. Pay them to breathe or aliens will kill us. And the NASA report says the aliens may strike any minute. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not the conspiracy theorist for being right 99% of the time and knowing how things work, okay? All right.